Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. I'm guided and led by Spirit. Trigger warning: the subject matters of a mature nature and deals with true crime and world events. This episode may include some creature feature moments. Put on your protection. God alone knows what is coming down these portals. Disclaimer: all cases, names, people are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. Just before we jump into the main part, just a quick channel update. Yesterday I realized, having meditated on these charts, and of course with the unfortunate incident of Charlie Kirk, and then the revelation of when we did the 369 of these United States, got me thinking. And I had a look at my playlist. There's a playlist called, I will tell you now. Well, I've changed it to Blue Rabbit Series. The initial title was 17/8 and the chaos that followed. And this was from New Year's Eve of this year, well, of 2024, and we went up to pretty much till the end of the month when Trump was inaugurated, right? And one of the episodes, I do the readings. I'm very cognitive conscious, let's say, in the main, when I'm in my reading. 17/8, number 4, episode 4 in the series. It was just a hunch, feeling. A mysterious 17/8 has been lurking in the background. And the first time, if I recall correctly, in fact, I must just double check if it's in this series. It was intended to be the attempted assassination of Trump, right? So when I did that episode, it may have been even the second one that I did of the batch. The 17/8 was eluding me. In other words, it felt like the 17/8 was popping there, then there, and there's movement, right? And there was even the move, is it Obama? Is it the shadow government still working in the background? And I don't mean to get fucking hoobily, but let's be real. The 17/8 is a little bit deeper than originally thought, right? And it was when, by the way, when I went onto the playlist, right, I see my video has been tagged reptilian humanoid. And then here's a whole explanation of what the heck they're talking, right? Now, don't get the heebie-jeebies. Remember, they work with fear. Anyway, this was the first episode, New Orleans New Year event. What is going on? A dark discovery. This was the first episode. Now, as I've read that title, there is no mention of any lizard motherfuckers, right? There's no mention of penguin people, Illuminati, sacrificing masonry motherfuckers. And then I checked every single episode, and they've only tagged the first one. I think this would be an appropriate time. In my early bicycle days, learning and developing and connecting properly and becoming a psychic at the age of 21, let's say. Vanessa, my mentor, one day said to me, out of the blue, she said a lot of these things, right? That I forget what we were actually talking about. And then she just like randomly said, She did that occasionally. He's this big lizard creature, just out of the blue. I beg your pardon. She said like crocodile creature. We can agree crocodile or alligators. This is just what she said. We'll get into the who's who and where, because they're all over the world, right? Now, said, he's this big crocodile like type man creature, and he's got all this money around him. And at the time, I'm thinking that my honest thought at the time was wet behind the ears, naive as fuck. In fact, in those days, I was tracking my first case, technically ever as a psychic, was the Van Rooyen children that went missing. And I was actively, let's not say technically actively, but I was researching, pursuing the case, which is a South African child trafficking ring that's still happening today, right? Like with Jocelyn Smith. And Jocelyn Smith was just one that, for God's grace, beamed a light across the world and people took notice, right? Because although Jocelyn went missing, there's probably 100 to 400 that go missing every month or week or whatever, months it feels like, right? So at my naive time hearing, now what is this big crocodile type man creature, and he's got all this money around him? At the time, I was wearing Lacoste shirts, right? So I'm thinking, because I was also like trying to be the entrepreneur, get some marketing idea off the ground, and anyway, long story short. So fast forward to this past week. So we're talking years now, right? Then I get bombarded with this image again, right? And the memory of Vanessa talking about what we see it in the series V, the lizard people. And within those 17-8 episodes, I started listing blue rabbits on episodes. And the reason why I did that was just to keep, let's say, physical track of episodes specifically related to the rabbit series. It's got fuck all to do with the Matrix. Yes, I'm using the rabbit because they used the rabbit in Matrix, but it's not the Matrix shit. Poor rabbits are getting hiding or get taken advantage of, but I love rabbits. But be that as it may, having meditated on these charts and what happened to Charlie and what is coming up for Donald Trump, Donald, and then Charles, King Charles. I did the series up until the end of January this year, right? And then when I started looking at all those episodes and you start looking at all the dots, and eyes a little bit more open when we look at the action of Declaration of Independence 17-8 in the middle. 17-8 in the middle. Of course, shadowed by the elite 10-1. And let's just say it's like the inner, it's the firm, it's the company, it's the elite. And they all come together through their different masonry and all that bullshit, right? But anyway, 17-8. Now, I made this episode Ancient Portals. If you haven't watched a single episode of any of the Ancient Portal series, maybe take some motion sickness. I will try to be as clear as possible and not ambiguous. But we're gonna go part ancient and part portals in the state and other royal affairs. But once connecting all the dots, we find that Charlie unfortunately fits the prerequisites to be included in the Blue Rabbit series. So just an announcement. I've updated the thumbnail And I've included his episode in the 17.8 playlist. So when we get now to Ancient Portal, State and Other Royal Affairs, we find Blue Rabbit 11.2. You recall with Charlie, his day started with a 10.1. Donald, King Charles share the 11.2s. And for those that aren't watching the visual parts, that is on the thumbnail. Now, on the left-hand side, we find Charlie Boy, and behind him, we find his blood painting. It's interesting how the artist included so much highlight in his eyes. Yes, demonic and all that shit, but it's just a detail. And of course, we find the origin of the monarch butterfly included in the bloodlust painting. I mean, picture this for a moment. It's the next year, and I have a choice of a painting to have commissioned for ridiculous amounts of money, or they just kill the artist and put in a double. But he chooses blood. Do we remember, perhaps at the doorstep of Kate, how the horses ran through the streets? One white, one black. I've included the flags just to give a bit of orientation. I've also included the Wales flag behind Charlie Boy. And then, you know that movie, How to Get Ahead in Advertising? With Charles, we have old Prince Andrew, like a boil on his neck. And on Trump, we have Epstein, because both papas have some talking to do, I believe. And it's evident in the numbers. It's evident in the numbers. We'll go through it. Behind Donald Trump on the right, we have the burning hills of Los Angeles, clearing out of the hordes. Now, for those that haven't watched the California Hills episodes, Vampiris, there was some kind of cleansing going on. Whenever the new leadership comes in, particularly, I feel this time versus when Trump was president the first time, came in with a bit of ferocity, I would say, right? Still pissed that he got duped in the previous one, right? And of course, the Blue Rabbit is linked to this case, unfortunately. So I'm just going to do a forecast and a look-see. Trump is leaving September the 16th, 2025. Apparently arriving the evening of Tuesday, British time. So this will be from where the arrow is, and that includes 34/7, 25/7, 16/7/7, and the turnaround gives us the 17/8, and then includes another 17/8, 26/8. So I have no information on the arraignment of the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk. I'm focusing on the UK trip. I will be looking at the alleged assassin once there's more information, particularly his date of birth. If you know his date of birth, let's verify it. If you're able to share it, please share it. 16-7, so he's rocking in on vampiri numbers, 16-7. All in waiting. See all the vampiris all in waiting. 16-7 at the top of the day. If you've seen some videos online, they've already been prepping the streets, American flags everywhere, extra security. So midnight, we find a 17-8. Hail, the 17-8 from far aside waters. 17-8 in the creature list are them crocodile people, are them lizard king people, all them type of people. The hidden 26-8. So interesting, I've just been flashed actually. 26-8 is linked also to Charlie. You'll recall in the All Is Revealed with Charlie's incident, we found that there was a hidden 26-8. So we can appreciate at surface level the Americans have paid their due. You'll recall in the, and we'll have a look at it here, in the creation of the Declaration of Independence, it was interesting to discover that it was England that relinquished power in the area. So these dirty trotters, and that is pig's feet in English. So the pig's feet people, the pigs, have got their dirty pig paws everywhere, right? We'll go deep on this because there's some interesting information here as well, linked to the Declaration of Independence. What I do want to point out, just as a quick look-see, in the Treaty of Union, which is one of the founding dates, right? Main founding date. Also in the +6, also in their +6, we find a 28-10-1. Now, their date is July 22, 1706. Then it's followed by 17-8. So we find the 17-8s are coming together come midnight when everyone, Trump has arrived safely and he's meeting the king, and everyone, I'm switching off the TV so I can go to sleep and wake up to go to work tomorrow. The world is better. And all the TV munchies, TV munchers, aren't we blessed? Donald Trump has come to visit the UK twice. We got to get his signature this time. And then they go to sleep and the world is happy again. So while we're all sleeping, the lizards, 17-8, let's see what's going on. 20 outcome 2. So we're just looking at the intention. 20 outcome 2. I've been having a problem with this number lately. And it's related to what's going on in the US at the moment, what's just happened. Now, 20 outcome 2 can be various things, right? But I'm just feeling I'm getting a miss when it comes to these motherfuckers. But maybe there's an answer. So on the left-hand side of the slide, I've got Donald's listed date of birth. June 14, 1946. Now we note already in the main birthday, there's the 20 outcome 2 from the year, and there's a hidden 20 outcome 2. Interestingly, in his +9, he has triple 20 outcome 2. and is +3. So the intention starting with 17.8. We find in the action of Declaration of Independence, outwardly 20 outcome 2, and then in the +9 hidden 20 outcome 2. Now it's interesting that the +9 of the declaration, the day position, not the day number. 13.4 is would be the +9. The day position hidden 20 outcome 2, outwardly 11.2, matches identically to Trump's date of birth. I think at this juncture, I've been reminded, you'll recall, during August of this year, between August 25, we can say August 25 evening onwards, because, well, we saw him doing a couple of his meetings. The picture felt different off. Anyway, as we know it, let's say. Then from August 26th, and I believe he popped his head up when he went golfing on Sunday, right? Just like Kate. Hi, guys. I'm here. I've been away for 9 months. Why are you acting so surprised? Remember when she walked up the stairs at Wimbledon? Waves like nothing's ever happened. Like she hasn't even had cancer. She trotted up those stairs, danced across the stairs, down again. Oh, wave. Walks across, not even out of breath when she sits down, right? And she's been having surgery or abdominal cancer. By the way, my cousin had abdominal cancer. I saw what it did. So she gallops and runs and into the chair like a swan. Oh, perfection. Look, everyone. The clone has arrived. So I've been also having a look at what's been happening August, and I thought maybe we'll have a look at it here. Someone mentioned like a med bed. Yes, there's theories, med beds. I wouldn't be surprised. Everything we see in the movies like Islam, we got to get off this country, off this land, earth, and fly to the city in the space. For them rich people, motherfuckers, the elite, the ones with the scan codes, to the med beds. So 44.8 on August 27, with some there would be some kind of life support device there. 44.8. Now you might be asking, but why are you going on this line? And the reason being, and I think this is just a hunch, just something that I felt. The reason why Trump's going back, because there's new people in town. And arrangements and meetings have to be done in person. What I noticed when politicians are in trouble, right? So when any of them would have a medical situation or there's a problem, like high-level stake problem, there's always immediate communication. So on August 27, now I'm not saying this is the particular day, I'm just looking at the sequence of numbers, right? Because on that day, in the middle, we find a 17.8 there as well. The turnaround, we find a 28.10.1. Now, what's significant about the position of 28.10.1, and the number, but the position is the position at the communication, high level networks is happening from midnight to sunrise, August 28th. Why August 30? There is a 30 outcome 3 number here. Now that can indicate a brain thing, zapped. 30 outcome 3, if we turn the dial slightly more, zapped. But there's a matriarch of sorts. One could even say first lady again. 30 outcome 3. Outburst. And then the following day followed by 31-4. So the whole of September the 17th, if we stay on the optics of them green motherfuckers, is all about the 8s, all the different 8s. You'll recall at the time when, who was he hosting? It was those, I don't have that slide here. It was the initial, let's put it this way. It was at the time when the Epstein saga really started pinching, right? And he, on Monday, while he was giving his usual Monday White House briefing or intimidating other presidents or bullying other presidents or laughing with other presidents and giggling with other girls, we know that in the other room, Miss Bodie, I believe, was handling the potential wildfire known commonly as the Epstein files, right? And at the time I mentioned there's a 7+7 conflict. There was a leadership conflict. It kept on pinging around. Oh yes, he was meeting with Netanyahu, the two devils. The two devils. Well, in some eyes, they are gods and saviors to the new Gaza Strip. Going to look like Vegas soon. The Epstein files. All right, Epstein files are going to be taken care of this evening, what would be September the 16th, because in the action, so interestingly, in the action, we find all the 16/7s, but in the action of September the 16th, the +6. So 20 starts with the 22-4, huh? You know, he is a Mason, whatever. So 22-4, and we know, of course, the monarch blood teapot. No offenses to teapots, but Charlie boy, me and him don't meet eye to eye. The killer, the puppet master behind that fateful evening under the bridge. 22-4, then we find hidden 31-4, 13-4. So top of mind is Brother Andrew and Brother Epstein. Outcome is all Trump's numbers, 40 outcome 4, 22-4, 13-4, 4. Or I've just been reminded that this is part ancient and part portal. 40, I've just been reminded, we found also at the scene of Kate's, remember the ambulances leaving around the 28th of December? Around that time, we had a look at those numbers. There was also a 40 outcome 4. So we might call Donald the Don, but who is actually the Don of Dons even? 22-4 Masonry procession, 22-4, 13-4, geez, huh? Did you know what that feels like and means? Nah, I'll just use some random example, right? Oh, God. You always bump into this kind of shit, right? So, for example, Epstein has just been arrested. For example, right? He's just been arrested. Then the next day, he is released on bail, just as an example. And then that night, he's doing the same thing, right? Yeah. We know the pedo child rings in the UK is rife. There are many examples, many case history stories, realities of the filth that circulates behind them royal pedophile walls. And of course, when friends of like-mindedness that like to make new secrets all dive in the pool of filth at any given ceremonial moment. Ceremonial, come on, you're going crazy. September 7th's gone. So what did I do last night? I was checking the calendars of the motherfuckers. There's a big thing happening September 18. Be alert. There's a big thing happening September 18. Filthy, disgusting animal pigs. Demons of the world. I had to put my producer hat on for that part, because reading that shit, and here's it here, 13-4, 16-7, all for the 17-8. So I believe what is happening as well, what this 26-8 can also be telling us, is that there are new bonds being made. There are new, how can we put it? I don't know their language. New deals are being made. And a few days ago, if you're watching the press, US announced we will be spending 1-point-something trillion in the UK, whatever that deal thing is. Before he leaves the shores, he must pay the penny. No Tiki, no Mickey. Remember that in that movie? No Tiki, no Mickey, motherfuckers. Disney's also a pedophile ring. All right, let's see what's going on. I was trying to look for dominant William numbers, see if he pops up in the mix, and I'm sure there will be. Oh, yeah, here he is, yeah, Thursday afternoon. But Trump would have left by then, eh? 20, he's also got a 20 outcome 2 in his year. So him and Trump are karmically connected. I wonder if Trump's the father. Kidding, just squeezing it a bit. 20 outcome 2. So karmically, Trump and William are linked karmically. Interesting. All the 16/7s today. Look who's flapping his wings. Prince Charles, 16/7, or King Charles, or Charlie Boy. Charlie went to the shops. 16/7. So, going to be pomp and ceremony. Well, I don't want to predict what's going to happen because they can change it in a flash, right? Let's keep looking behind the curtains. We have found, and proof again, you'll recall with our beautiful Diana, we find in the +6. Okay, so let me be clear. Wednesday finishes, like Wednesday evening, then midnight to sunrise Thursday, midnight to sunrise Thursday, 24/6. So we have a family gathering, huh? So when Tommy has finished watching the news and King Charles and Donald Trump are doing their thing for BBC military operation channel company, it's a military company. Once everyone's turned off the telly and put away the teacup, oh, thank God the world is okay. Donald and Charles look so happy together. They make a lovely bromance. And they wake up the next morning and go to work with their lunchbox. Then we find, and believe me, I did that for many years, so don't feel bad. 24/6. 24/6. Oh. Blood splatter everywhere, people. Hidden, 33/6. So Monday had an outward 33/6. Maybe that was just the gathering of the humans that we're going to use. Okay, let's see. I want to go more internal. Okay, so Wednesday, September 17. So we see 29/11/2, it's all the deals that have been made. 38/11/2, the exchanges being made. You give us your peaches and we'll take your cream and all that bullshit. Trade, proper trade, trade. Here's where there's a problem, huh? Wednesday, September 17. So Wednesday hidden in the +6. So we have the inner group meeting 14/5, hidden 32/5. This is where decisions are being made about what to do with what and how we're going to dispose of shit. Whether tangible biological evidence or whether paper evidence or photographic evidence, whatever evidence, they will decide what they're going to do, what needs to be destroyed. 41/5, manipulation of evidence, how are we going to spin the stories? And then in the +9 of Wednesday, September 17, we find hidden 44/8. The grand Illuminati Masonry grand design. So while we watch our tellies during the day, these motherfuckers are going to be doing all sorts of shit behind closed doors. Major portal sequence, no coincidence, on September 18. According to Trump leaves 18 September, right? Just a quick update. I have been working on some of the sole survivor cases. It's quite in-depth. I haven't forgotten about it. I'm tinkering here and there. I've got about 4 cases prepped, possibly coming soon. Just trying to see if there's any other standout information I need to share. I'm not going to get too hectic with Donald as we know him's date of birth. I just wanted to point out all those 20 outcome twos in the +6. So this is when all shit was signed, right? Illuminati 22-4, Masonry number, outcome 29-11-2. So that's July 22, gives us the 7-22-4. Gives us the 29-11-2, infamous 29-11-2. Nothing's for free around here, motherfucker. Here, interestingly, we find the UK also has a 7+7 conflict in the intention. So that means, and surrounded by all of these fives that are that's chaos here. Once again, we find the good, and if you want to put it like the good and evil versus good and evil vibes here, good versus evil, right? Surrounded by fives, demons. I don't like that 46-10-1 there. That can be very nasty, and based on what we've heard and thought about and seen, when you come to them sacrifice days, 46-10-1 is we saw them at the Mariah Carey family. We saw it at our beautiful Whitney Houston, the family gathering types, human sacrifices, 46-10-1. Now, what alarms me and confirms suspicions that many people have, and there's even proof of it in journalism, but here we find the super pedo number in the outcome of the action, 49-13-4. Don't get the heebie-jeebies. If you've got a 49-13-4, don't get the heebie-jeebies. We know there's pedo trafficking. Boulay just popped into mind and said hello. 49-13-4 is the super pedo number. And very similar numbers to Trump here. Trump's got a 49-13-4 in his +9, and he's also got a 40 outcome 4, 40 outcome 4, 31-4, 22-4, 13-4. So the 22-4 in these pedo rings, like we saw with the Willis family, not the Willis, beg your pardon, the Smith family, who recently went out. That's what was bothering me about the close with Will Smith and the stand-in, or whoever that was. And I miss her. So you haven't seen each other or dated for a year, right? A whole year. Yet on that particular day, given time, when Will goes to pick up Jada, whoever was playing Jada, they are synchronously matching their wardrobe. Put on your bucket head, motherfuckers. So the 22-4, that's when the parents hand over the 13-4s, because that is the rules in the Masonry is 22-4. I think, by all accounts, a lot worse. 31-4 in the +9, huh? 31-4. 31-4. A lot of destruction around here, violence, destruction, 32-5 in the intention. In the intention, there's a 32-5. In the day position, 32-5. Let's see if they destroyed anything. I suppose if we look around the world and all the countries and places that were colonized, brutalized, destroyed 32.5. 14.5, and don't get the heebie-jeebies. Don't get the heebie-jeebies. 14.5, the year that the 1706 is a 14.5. Right? On one aspect is the racist number. Racist. Bring out the millions of, and I suppose it's their right, every right to protest. Bring out the protesters, rah-rah, Elon Musk, Starlink connection, back in the fight for pure race, white misogyny. He finds himself an immigrant himself, isn't it? So 31.4 in the +9, these guys don't give a shit, yo. 31.4. When we're done with them 13.4s, there's going to be a lot of 31.4s. I see, and no offense to the UK, you guys are great, love you. Lots of contributions from things as well, not just the genocides caused in Africa. 52.7, there's a lot of harsh negative numbers in the UK numbers here. We can agree, yeah, I saw Braveheart, look how they lived. Look how they were, barbarians, whatever, right? There's a lot of evidence to support that, I'm afraid. If you were ever wondering why the UK explored the world so much, it's because they're driven by sevens, exploration, pioneering, breaking ground. So on a real level and not ancient, 17.8, because I'm a Formula One fan, 17.8 is engineering. There's your big engineering number, 17.8, 35.8 is engineering. All these 40s and 4s is manufacturing. The 46, 10, 1, 37, 10, 1, 19, 10. The 46, 10, 1, 37, 10, 1, 19, 10, 1, 10, 1. Industrious business numbers. The big deal maker, 29, 11, 2. In exchange for 38, 11, 2 in the +9. Lots of exchanging of goods and services, I would imagine. Or goods, however it works. I don't work in the trade and industry department. So these 4s, if it wasn't clear, is lots of misogyny here, huh? Lots of male. And we see those numbers, all those 40s here. Huh? So look here, nice Tuesday, we see all the 37, 10 ones, 28, 19, 10 ones that we saw in the intention. And then in the +6, it matches, matches identically. There's our 13.4. God bless their souls. Hidden 31.4. Not the lizard motherfuckers, the kids. And unfortunately, some of those kids are raised for the purpose. So here's it, full flight UK, exact numbers here. And why? Oh no, like everything is like perfect, right? Donald wouldn't have said, oh, okay, I've got 16, 17, 18 open on my diary. And Charles says, oh, let me look at my diary. But this was planned months ago. This is not an impromptu visit. This matches the UK numbers spot on. Masonry and their numbers is like putting a trace, right? And it's always the same patterns. I will do a positive aspect on the Declaration of Independence. I don't mean just to do a negative. Perhaps not now, but trading numbers 11.2, there's your big deal trading. 14.5, so let me be clear. 11.2 is the deal. 14.5 is trade, local and international. Local 4, 5 international. It can also be your local county with another county. It can be your state with the next state. All your engineering numbers here as well, all the 8s. 10.1, big money. 17.8, ingenuity, engineering. Then all the big exchanges as well, 38.11.2, 29.11.2. So 20 outcome 2 in this aspect would say there's a wider market for the US, right? So the rest of the world. 13.4. I've still not seen William around. I mean, he will be, whoever they send in. But let's see if I can try pick him up. So I'm only seeing him definitely Thursday. I see him reflected Thursday. And then all the 11s. Okay, so we're going to see him Wednesday, looks like it, eh? But that's hidden. All the 11.2s are hidden. Yeah, I wonder, this feels like the meeting of the fathers. Do you know what I mean? Father of the royal family and father of the free world, you know? Both have got their things to deal with. All right, ladies and gentlemen. More than likely going to take a few days out from this date uploaded. More than likely back on the weekend. Just going to detox. Had to get this one out the system as well. And then I'm going to take my time. I'll definitely be back on the weekend. Bye for now.